Okay, this is the right one. Ooh, ooh. Hello, Nixisha. Hello, 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 my dearest love. If you don't mind, I'd like to join you by your side. Not me not being prepared, child. Prepared, child. Not me up here being unprofessional. Not me up here being unprofessional. I'm talking about unprofessional, child. Not prepared, getting the equipment ready as I'm here. Like, what is going on? I don't know. Usually I'm a little bit better prepared, but I think it said I was supposed to have the gain all the way up. Wait a minute. Because I think I'm supposed to have it like all the way up. Yeah. Let's. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. I had to make sure. I had to make sure that I had it, as it needs to look, as it needs to be. And it looks like we're good. I didn't realize, by the way, that we could be doing Patreon lives from the YouTube. That didn't even occur to me. That didn't even come to my mind that we could have been doing that. I don't know. I don't know, because I love a good most popular girl. Girl, I got so excited. I saw most popular girls in school and then movie, and I was like, wait a minute. But they just put out episodes together. I got so excited because I really was sitting here like, oh my God, there's a most popular girls in school movie? But there's not. There's not. But you know what? The fact that they're doing a little something, maybe that means something. Maybe that means they're coming back. Maybe that means, most popular girls in school is making a comeback. Ooh, I got a Jones in my bones for you. There ain't a damn thing that I won't do. Why Joe has been in my mind, I don't know. I couldn't tell you to save my life, but for some reason, I have been singing Joe lately. And he has just been, I do love that song. That song is so good. And I just love the way he sings it. Like the way he sings it. Listen, he ate that up. Hello, Meandra. Hello, my dearest. How are you? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Um, did I tell anyone that I was going live today? No. Did I plan on it? Or I said going live, streaming. Um, no, but here we are because yesterday, your boy was depressed at the wazoo. I'm talking about depressed. And it's partly because I gotta turn this fan on for a second. I'm about to die. But it's partly because I didn't take my medicine like I should be. And so, your boy was a little all over the place. Okay. And it's been like that for a couple of days. But I took my medicine now. And so I'm good. So now I'm stable. I feel, stabilized. I feel like I can actually function now. So, it just is what it is. But we're good now. I don't know what made me kind of like get off base like that, off kilter. It was a very interesting experience. It was a very, very interesting experience. But anyway, how are y'all? How's everything going your way? Hopefully good. What did y'all do today? Fill me in. Let me know. Ooh, Got a Jones in my bones for you. There ain't a damn thing that I won't do. I will be randomly singing that song. I will be very randomly singing that song. So I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I feel like I'm gonna take the YouTube live off of the streaming thing. I don't know why, but I just feel like I should. I don't feel like it's I don't feel like it's accomplishing anything. I just worked all day. I know that's right. Well, listen, same here. I went to them people's job. I was on them people's job, and I went and did a visit, and I got some barbecue, and that was it. And the barbecue was very good. It was very, very good. So I was like, you know what? That sounds like a good day to me. Listen, Linda, listen. Okay? I got ribs and chicken for dinner. See, I'm telling you, we must be in some kind of like mental connection that we don't know about. We've got to be connected. We've got to have some sort of Wonder Twin ability. Nixisha, what did you eat? Or have you eaten dinner yet? Because I feel like it's 7 o'clock. Almost 7:30. I feel like you should have eaten by now, if you haven't. Some Chipotle. Shut up. You know I like Chipotle, and I can't have it because we don't have it around here. And it ticks me off greatly. I have to drive 2 hours to get Chipotle. 2 hours. Yeah, I have to drive 2 hours. But I'm so glad. What do you get when you go there? Because they got some good food. We're going to get into our discussion tonight, but I just want to kind of like, warm up a little bit, because I think there's literally just the 3 of us here. And me personally, I'm fine with that. If I'm being 100% honest. Like, that doesn't bother me. It could absolutely just be the 3 of us. And I'm okay with that. So, I need to, it's so much stuff that I gotta read. What the hell was that? What is that? What did that say? Somebody did something. Wait, what? What was that? Did y'all see like a little thing dancing on the screen, or did I make that up? What did it say? Damn it, I missed it. Wait a minute. Because what did I say? See, okay, that's gonna bother me now. That's gonna bother me that I don't know what. Okay, ADHD, let it go, let it go, let it go. I gotta let it go. So it says that an ad break is starting in 50 seconds, which means I have sat here and I have talked to the point that we're getting ready to go to an ad break. So I'm just gonna kind of keep it light until it ends, because I do have something very specific that I want to talk about tonight. And I'm not gonna lie, it's Buffy, but it's kind of a bigger thing with Buffy. Like, it's not just Buffy. I want to talk a little bit about the show and then see what y'all think, but then I also want to talk a little bit about like some of the comments that I've gotten and some of the things that people have said. So I'm gonna just wait until it says that the ad break is over, and then we'll get into it. Unless y'all can see me. Like, can everybody still see and hear me? I'm just going off the assumption that it said that there was an ad break. I'm so awkward because instead of just continuing to talk, I've decided that I'm just gonna sit here in silence. Like, Galen, be serious here, Buster. Be for real here, Buster. I saw the countdown for the ad, but it didn't cut to the break. Oh, okay. Well, then let's go ahead and get into the discussion. So I posted a video where I was talking about Xander, right? And Here's sort of the issue with that character. And we've talked about it before, but it's so strange the way that people will take opportunities to do it, even when it doesn't really need to be an opportunity. I literally made a video where I was talking about the scene with Faith and how, from my perspective, Faith essentially like SA'd him and then tried to kill him, and they just gloss over it. They don't even come back to it, whatever. And I was talking about how terrifying it was, because it was terrifying. Like, all whatever else aside, it was actually very frightening to watch. Like, the way that man was being choked, and the way Faith, like the look in her eye, baby, it scared the hell out of me. And what is so strange is that in a video where I'm talking about that, people have taken the opportunity, not everybody, but some people have taken the opportunity to talk about how Xander's really not that bad. And really, everybody else is worse. Buffy has done worse, and Willow has done worse, and this person has done worse, and Xander is not that. And I'm like, what? Where? I'm not understanding how we got from point A to point B. I don't understand that. And I'll be 100% honest and say that as a content creator, like, that Buffy and Charmed, I really feel like I'm finna stop talking about those shows for a while. Like, I feel like I'm not gonna talk about them for a good little minute, because it's so weird having to like combat points that don't have anything to do with my video. Like, I made a video talking about Faith and how I felt about Faith. I am not saying that I was correct in that thought. I am not saying that I gave it the full thought that I could have. I definitely can see where I need to, I think, maybe explain my thought processes better, which is another reason that like short form content is just not doing it for me. But my thing is, like, in that video where I'm talking about what Faith said and Faith did, and again, whether my thoughts were correct or not, or whether they were on track or not, I am talking about Faith. And there were people in the comments arguing that I'm not holding Buffy accountable for the things that Buffy has done, but I'm holding Faith accountable for the things that Faith did in this one episode. And it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm talking about an episode in season 3. And somehow we've jumped to season 7. Somehow we have jumped to the end of the damn show, so that you can tell me that Buffy did, Buffy hit, Buffy kicked, Buffy. And it's like, that's not what we're talking about in this moment. And I think that it's this bigger issue that people have on the internet, which is they feel like you're not going to hold this character that they like accountable if you're not going to talk about these other characters. And I really think that they think it's cool to dislike Buffy. That's what I'm starting to learn. I'm starting to learn that people think that it is like a personality trait to hate Buffy. They think that they are being cool and different and unique, and they're looking at it from a deeper perspective because everyone loves Buffy, but no one calls out Buffy for this. And it's like, what makes you think? What makes you think that if we're talking about A, you should go ahead and bring up the letter J? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. We're talking about A, so you bring up the number 10. I just kind of don't get it. And it's starting to frustrate me a little bit, because I feel like the points that I make sometimes get lost in people trying to prove that what I'm saying is biased, or people trying to prove that what I'm saying is coming from like a fan perspective, and I'm too much of a fan of Buffy and I'm not capable of being objective when it comes to her and whatever else, when it's like, that's not what we're talking about though. And I think what's interesting, hello, Markel. And I think what's also been very interesting about this journey of talking about Buffy has really been the way it's really it so going back to the Xander video where I was talking about the scene with Faith. Now I would love to know what y'all think about this, by the way. Like, please don't feel like you know, don't have to say it. You know, you can't say anything. Like, I would love to know what y'all think. Going back to the Xander video, on the opposite end, which I don't know if this makes me a hypocrite. I really don't. Like, I'm so confused because I went out of my way to say that my personal feelings towards Xander have nothing to do with this scene because he didn't deserve it. And people in the comments were like, no, he deserved it because he's horrible. And these are the consequences of his own actions. Being SA'd and almost murdered is a strange thing to be like, these are your consequences. This is the one time where, even though I think it may have been rooted in insecurity and whatever else, right? Do I think that it came from the same characteristics of his that I don't like? Absolutely. But that's a story for a different day, and I'm going to make a longer video about that. But at the end of the day, I think that in his mind, he had good intentions. I don't know I don't know how else to explain it. I think in his mind, he had good intentions. And it's not like he was hurting anybody. Like, the one time that Xander is not threatening or hurting anybody, this is when people are like, yeah, he deserves like, what? The one time that he's not hurting somebody or threatening them, that's when he's like, people are like, no, he deserves it this time. I can't. Like, it is so strange. It's so strange. I honestly would just put it out there. If you're not engaging with the content in good faith, you're getting blocked. I think you're right. I think that that's what I need to start doing. I do definitely think that I need to start just being like, you're getting blocked. Because it's been interesting because, like, it's made me start questioning myself for the first time in a long time. Like, with the stuff that I say, you know, I think that I'm so usually, even if I don't necessarily know the piece of media that I'm talking about, I'm confident that what I'm saying is my thought process on it. You know, like, I'm confident in what I'm saying, even if I'm not super familiar with the content, right? But this situation has genuinely made me feel insecure. This is and not just insecure as a content creator, because I've been feeling, you know, I've shared my kind of struggles with being a content creator, like, you know, the self-sabotaging, not feeling like I'm good enough, not feeling like, you know, I come up with interesting stuff. But that's as a content creator. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. But this, and not just this, but like the past, like, however many videos I've made, it just seems like the comments have just been so, like, it's really making me question, like, am I stupid? You know what I mean? Like, it really is making me question, like, am I stupid? And I don't mean that in a funny way, like, am I stupid? I mean, like, it genuinely makes me think, am I not smart enough? Am I not looking deep enough into this? Am I not looking at it from the right perspective? Am I not, you know, and it's not just the people arguing with me about it. When it comes to Buffy, it just, I don't understand why people want so badly to hold that child accountable. Like, I don't get it. I genuinely, people have done pussy pops and a back handstand spring flip to try to tear her down in situations that don't have anything to do with her. Like, I cannot figure it out. I had to, this is not Buffy related, but this is Charmed related. I had to block somebody the other day because I had made a video talking about how season 4 was good because there was tension and Paige had came into this situation. She didn't know what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And I appreciated the heavy lifting that she did. And somebody literally came in in the comments and was just like, you can keep her because the first 3 seasons are the only ones that matter. And I don't remember fully what I responded, but it was just something to the effect of like, it was something, I think I said essentially like, she added a breath of fresh. I said something like that, like complimenting her, right? And their response to me was like, two things can be true at one time and both opinions need to be respected, be blessed. And I blocked them because you're not trying to have a discussion when you say something like that. Both opinions need to be respected. You're just not. Because you came at it in an aggressive manner and you thought I was going to agree with it. You came at it from a negative perspective. You thought I was going to agree with it. And then when I didn't, both perspectives need to be respected. No, they don't. They don't. And that's why the fandom is the way it is today. Is because of stuff like that. People are 40 years old, 50 years old, still talking about how they loved Prue over Paige. Grown adults, old ass people, are still sitting here talking about how when Paige came, it just got horrible and they just couldn't watch it anymore. Adult people. Like, I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. Now, am I saying that you have to like a character? No. Mm-mm. Do you know if other Buffy creators you network with have had these kind of comments? I'm definitely going to reach out to them and I'm definitely going to ask because this is interesting. This has been quite the interesting experience. You were right to block them. I think I was. I definitely think so. I didn't feel bad about it afterwards. I felt like, okay, thank God. You know, like, because sometimes I'll feel bad after I block somebody, and that's why sometimes I don't really block people. I might delete a comment, but I don't block people. And I think I need to start, like, blocking these fandoms, no matter the age of the show, are just the worst. They are. That is the way people hate teenage girls. No, I think that you're right. I think that you're absolutely right. People hate teenage girls. And they hate female characters, and they don't want to say it. And I just look at the way people hate Dawn. They hate that girl. They hate that girl. Hate that girl. And you want to know what I think another good example of that is too, Mia? Your critiques and criticism are valid and on the money. Thank you, Markel. I don't expect people to agree with me all the time. I think it makes me anxious, upset, because I feel like I put a lot of time and effort into trying to explain what I'm saying, and people are just like, nah, I don't like, anyway. So that's a personal thing that I am still working on. I'll tell you another example, though, that I don't think I've ever taken the time to talk about enough. And that was the way people hated Snow White when she was little in Once Upon a Time. The way that people were saying that child. Now, you know how I feel about fictional children. I already don't like fictional children as it is. But the way that people were like doing backflips to talk about how that child was wrong. And I'm like, what? Now, y'all know I kind of had to come to terms with Henry. You know, me and Henry, we don't really vibe like that. But I've had to come to terms with Henry and understand him more. And now I'm like, okay. But little Snow, I immediately understood, okay, they're taking advantage of the fact that this child does not have a mother. They're taking advantage, like Cora is taking advantage of that fact, and she doesn't want to connect with this child. She wants to manipulate her so she can get information so that she can, change the situation to what she wants it to be. Like, Cora is taking advantage of this child, and people are hard down like she should have known to keep a secret. I don't think they mean it like this, but maybe the best commentary in the world is not that little girls should keep secrets from the things that adults you know what I'm saying? Like that. I think that commentary got really weird for me, because at a certain point I was like, okay. I was like, so what the hell are y'all saying? Like, what do you mean she should know how to keep a secret? Like, clearly they're not saying that, but I feel like if you're gonna get mad at this child for not keeping this secret, what's to stop her from, you're not, like, I know these are not real children. I joke about my hatred for fictional children sometimes, but most of the time I'm joking. Most of the time. But I still know the cutoff point to it, like my beef with fictional children is typically going to be something surface level. It's not going to be like, I hate this child, except Cody from Digimon, who is not even portrayed by a real person. He is an anime character. He is the only character that I will say that I don't think it's irrational, but I do think it's amplified to an extent that it shouldn't be. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I just, the notion of saying that child should have kept a secret was very odd to me. It was very strange, and I just felt like it's interesting that it was in response to Regina. It was in response to, I like Regina and I wanted Regina to be happy, and so Snow really should have gotten killed because she should have known to just shut her mouth and whatever else. And my thing that I go back and forth with, I'm just like, is Regina wrong for hating that child like that? I don't think she's wrong. I think definitely it was misplaced anger. At the time, I did think Regina needed to let it go. I'm not gonna lie. At the time, I definitely thought Regina needed to let it go, move on, go to therapy. But, she let it fester. But as time went on, I'm like, okay, let's look at the situation. Regina is not really able, no matter what she does, getting revenge on her mama, getting revenge on Snow, whatever she does, it's not going to change the situation. Daniel is still going to be gone. So nothing she does is going to bring back that thing that she thought was going to make her happy. So she, she stayed angry at Snow in an effort to, hopefully get some kind of retribution, at some point. And did I say that word right? Retribution. Yeah. For some reason, I feel like I said it wrong. But anyway, and it's interesting. It's kind of like her and the huntsman situation. And I was like, oh, what do you mean she's making him go to her bed? Like, I had never heard that before. That was not something that I had ever heard of Regina's character. So I was like, oh. And I think at first I was kind of like really petty towards him because the character ultimately didn't really matter to me that much. But then after the fact, I was like, why is Regina? And it's hard. And I think even for me, I think that's what, like, I still to this day don't know how to reconcile that. Like, I don't know how to reconcile it with liking Regina's arc, because it's a lot. And it's like, how do you factor that in? But I think that you address it, but not sugarcoat it. Like, I think that it's easy to just kind of be like, well, Regina really done. No, Regina was, that takes too much brain power for them. It really does. People can't hold the nuance of Regina being justified in her pain, but Snow not being culpable the rest of her life for a mistake she made as a child. Yes, they don't understand that. They don't understand how those two things can coexist. Like, Snow didn't even realize what was happening. Like, Snow had absolutely no idea that she was being manipulated. She genuinely thought like, oh, I got a family now. And we all Gucci. You know, everything is fine. Me and Regina, we tight. Me and Cora, we tight. My daddy is finna find somebody. I'm finna have a mama. Everything is good. Let me just go ahead and share the tea. You know, she genuinely didn't know. And I think it's so strange the way they go at the child. It is so strange. Like, yes, that did ruin Regina's life. It really did. And I see why Regina hurts the way she hurts. And I see why Regina puts it on Snow. Because in her mind, if Snow had just shut the hell up, everything would have gone fine. She would have married Daniel and she could have been happy. But to put it actually on Snow is crazy work. And this is coming from a person. Y'all know I think everything is Leo's fault. Like, every single thing that happens is Leo's fault. Like, I can connect it back in some way that Leo or Grams was in the wrong. And if they had made the decision that they made or done what they did, then we would not be in the scenario that we are in currently. But also, though, I think the other thing is that I can acknowledge when I'm doing too much in that. You know what I mean? Like, I can acknowledge when I'm doing too much. I can acknowledge when I'm joking. I can acknowledge when I'm just talking. Like, the video I made, I think it was about Melinda Warren. It was either the Melinda Warren video or the Cousins video. I don't really remember which one it is. It was, but I literally had to say in the video, like, y'all, these are jokes. Like, these are just jokes. Because people, I would just assume that if I saw a video of someone like busting out laughing in the middle of saying something, that they would understand it's, you know, like, that's clear it's a joke. But people don't. And people still, even though I said it in the video, they still got mad about things I would say and how's beloved this and how's beloved that. And I'm like, girl, stop it. Stop it. I just called Melinda Warren a hussy and a skeezer. And you heard that and said, let me become a social justice warrior. Girl, bye. That's why I tolerate you taking the piss out of Joyce. Listen. Am I joking when it comes to Joyce? I can't say for sure. But what I can say is, one day, we're going to get a chance to see all those bonfires that Joyce is at. Because I know she goes to a lot of them. Her and Giles are at a lot of hot, burning bonfires. I don't know why that tickles me so bad. I don't know why it tickles me so bad to say that Joyce is in hell. Because there's no reason for me to say it. I just love sending characters to hell. It's just so fun to me. I don't know. It's just something fun about being like, they're in hell right now. You know what I mean? Like, just saying, oh, they're in heaven. Girl, okay. Not everybody's getting in heaven. Let's keep it real. Tried to cover it by mentioning Giles. I mean, low key. I was watching Lucifer thinking how fun it'd be to watch as a group and send people to hell. Oh my God, yes. Because I don't remember a whole lot about Lucifer, but I know him and the lady. That lady, I don't think the lady is going to hell. She gives me like purgatory. I don't remember her name. I don't remember anyone's name except him. He's the only one whose name I remember. Even DB Woodside's character. I don't remember. Is it? I don't remember. I don't remember anybody's name. Nobody's. Chloe. Okay, that's from Young and the Restless. By the way I just said Chloe, that's from Young and the Restless. I mean, ooh, child. Seeing it spelled, for some reason, I feel like if I say that, something is gonna like appear, and I'm scared to. Although if it's DB Woodside, I'll say it 55,000 times back to back. So I may have spelled it wrong. No, it just those names are like that. Cause I know his name is, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's his name. By the way, y'all, sometimes when I like put my shoulders up, like this, I have a torn rotator cuff on top of everything else. And sometimes my shoulders hurt me so bad. And so I just kind of like do this to sort of stretch them a little bit and whatever else and like give it a different. So if y'all ever see that and you're like, what is he doing? Because I feel like I just look like a giant chicken nugget. You know, I feel like I look crazy when So I just want to tell y'all that I have a great deal of pain on a day-to-day basis. And I do different things that I don't think people realize why I'm doing it. So then I'm like, oh, let me go back and tell them why I'm doing this particular thing. You know, because it may look strange. Oh, the one, by the way, I was going to tell you, one of them that played Lucifer's sibling with like the little mushroom haircut and the little, like they were tiny. They voiced a character on Steven Universe, and I was like, because I know that voice, and I didn't realize like Ruby was essentially just that person in animated. Like the character of Ruby is basically just them, like the hair and everything. I was like, oh, that's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I think of what you did for me. I could do about anything. Y'all, I was listening to Beyonce, as I do, because anyway, and I was listening to Baby Boy, and the way I used to love that song, that was when my girl was in her it's not funny. I'm kind of joking, but that's when my girl was in her Egyptian appropriation era, and she was like heavily inspired by Egypt. And that's back when she was like she was doing a lot of Egyptian like music sounds. Like she was taken very heavily from that and was very inspired by that. And at the time I thought it was just a bop, and I still think it's a bop. It's just interesting, like toying with other genres. And I don't think she crossed the line, but I could be biased. I don't feel like she crossed that line of like stealing from them. It's just funny to listen to it and then hear like, like that kind of stuff. That's a bad rendition of how the Baby Boy like instrumental goes. That's not me being racist or anything. That's literally, Was that during the Mummy era? It was. It was around like, because that album came out in 2003. So that was kind of around like after the Mummy, but like when the sequels were coming out, stuff like that. So it was around then. So it was, picture us dancing real close in a dark, dark corner of a basement party. Every time I close my eyes, it's like everyone left but you and me. In our own little world, the music is the sun, the dance floor becomes a sea. Feels like true paradise to me. Baby, I used to think I was cutting up every time I was singing that. Every time I was singing, I was like, my voice sounds so beautiful. Every time I would sing that, every single time. And it's just something about singing from that particular album that I just feel like, baby, I feel like I could take on the world. You give me a song from Dangerously in Love, the album, and baby, I guarantee you, I'm going to sit there and feel cunt. I really am. I am going to sit there and feel like I'm the only one in the world. Okay? And that was in the era where you could not have told me that I was not going to get on American Idol and win. You couldn't have told me that. You could not have told me that I was not going to be the next Ruben Studdard. You couldn't have told me that I was not going to be in the winner circle with Fantasia and Ruben Studdard. And at the time, I liked Carrie Underwood. And just, But I slowly realized, that dream is not for me. That's not my ministry. That's not the thing that I think I'm supposed to do with my life. And so, but baby, at the time, you give me a good song and I promise you, I was going to eat. Give me some tartar sauce because, girl, I'm about to eat. That was what I thought. And when Dreamgirls came out, I genuinely thought I'm going to be a dream one day. Like one day, somehow, I don't know, I'm going to be a dream. I want to say something so bad, but I have never said that out loud before, and I'm not prepared for that. I'm not prepared for, like, the questions that would come with it, because I don't think I'm strong enough to answer them. But anyway, the point here is that, baby, at one point I thought, we're going to Hollywood. Welcome to Hollywood. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Oh, this is what I was going to tell y'all. So I thought, this is completely random. This has nothing to do with what we were talking about just a second ago. I thought that the Vampire Lestat was a completely different show from Interview with a Vampire. So I was going to go back and watch Interview with a Vampire so that I could watch the Vampire Lestat. Tickle me pink to find out that it's the same show. And now I'm upset because, y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm going to keep it a buck. Keep it a bean. I am tired of talking about, like, magic-based shows, for sure. But I'm also, I want to talk about something new, Like, everything I talk about is old. Everything I talk, like, that's my niche, and I know that. But I want to talk about something current, but I want to be interested in it. I want it to be something, like, I want to cover something current, but I want it to be something that I like, And I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to watch and cover and whatever else. I feel like I'm lost right now, kind of with content, if I'm being 100% honest with you. Because, like, if I make one more video about Charmed, which I know I'm going to, but if I have to make one more video about Charmed, I'm going to throw up. Like, that's the point I'm at. Like, I'm going to throw up. And I'm kind of sick of talking about Buffy. Not sick of it, but I feel like I need a break from it because I don't know. I'm not covering it correctly. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Abbott Elementary, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to cover anything else. Really, that's the thing. I have no idea. I don't know how to cover stuff because, like, I feel like I talk too much. I feel like I don't know. As a Buffy fan, you're covering and fine. You just got to decide how you're going to address the trolls. You're right. I don't know. I feel like I'm at such an impasse because, like, I don't know what to do anymore. I thought I had a plan. I was going to have fun with the pilot season stuff. And then I just got burned out on it. I got burned out on other stuff, and the pilot season stuff fell by the wayside. Let me say that. It was just, I just got so derailed. And I feel like I don't have time to watch stuff. You know, like I feel like I don't. I've been watching Severance. I have been watching Severance. And that's been fun. I think the story is good and engaging, and I've been enjoying that. But I don't want to cover it. I just want to talk, you know, I just kind of want to like watch it. And then if I talk a little bit about it, I will, but I'm not jumping up and down to make content about it, which is good. I just want to enjoy the show. And I'm taking my time with it, and it just... Why do I always end up using this as like a therapy session when I talk to y'all? I feel like that's Justin's fault. I can't really prove it, and I can't really explain how it would be his fault, but I feel like it's Justin's fault. How I got so off topic. I will say, I'm gonna say this and I'll shut up. Like, I think what people don't understand about content sometimes is like, I have to watch the show. I have to take notes on the show. I have to record the video. And a lot of the time it takes forever. And then once I record the video, I have to edit the video, and then I have to get the clips and the pictures to put in the video. And like the process, the pipeline from like one thing to the next is just like it. Welcome to Hollywood. Hello, Diamond. Hello. Not you came into me whining, child. Listen. Not you came into me whining, because I am whining right now. I wanted to whine yesterday. I feel like your Tubi movie era is going to be fun. I do feel like the Tubi movies are going to be fun. I feel like that's going to be very fun. I really do. I wanted to whine yesterday, if I'm being 100% honest, when we were all in the watch. But I didn't, because I didn't want to ruin it for everybody. But I was not in a good place yesterday. Like, yesterday... I was damn near depressed. No, I was depressed. I wasn't damn near. I was depressed. And like, but anyway, I'm venting now. I took my medicine. I took the medicine, so I feel good. I'm more centered. Venting. Yeah. That's true. That is true. The Tubi stuff is going to be fun because they have some stupid stuff on there. They've got some ridiculous stuff on there. And I want to get into like the messy stuff. Like, so far, the stuff that I've kind of seen has been like tame. I want to see some mess. I want to see some foolishness. I want to see people pointing objects at each other that are not firearms. You know, and then we're supposed to pretend like it is. I want to see that. I want to see foolishness. So, anyway. So, yeah. And I'm going to be doing a collab with some people. Not like people, but they make this show, and it's like Power Rangers inspired. And so they're going to be at the event that I'm going to be hosting in Baltimore later this year. And so we're going to be doing some stuff, and I'm going to be like covering their show. I'm going to be doing some content on, you know, their stuff. So it's like, I'm excited about that. We're meeting tomorrow to talk more about it. And so then, and we're going to have a listening party. Y'all don't have to come if you don't want to, but y'all know I'm an associate producer on my friend's show, Haven Falls. It's an audio soap opera. And so I'm going to do a listening party. I don't know if people want to watch that, but we're gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. Dagnabbit. So, you know. Have you heard about Passion Flix? It's like Netflix for romantic movies, specifically is genuinely a mess and messy. I have not heard about that. Ooh, that sounds good. See, that's the kind of stuff I want. Like, I want the foolishness. I want the drama. I want people fighting, arguing, not fighting, but like arguing, and then they just like push somebody down the stairs. I want a soap opera, essentially, is what I want. I want to watch a soap opera. like on Tubi. That may be what I do tonight. Hell, I don't know. I may go ahead and watch me I don't know. I need to watch Severance. There's a lot of things I need to get back to. I need to get back to Severance. Well, I'm kind of currently watching Severance, but I need to get back to Severance. I need to get back to The Crown. I need to get back to Bridgerton. Listen. Am I going to watch Bridgerton any further? That's a great question. Bridgerton season 4 sucks donkey balls. Like, it is not. Season 3 wasn't exactly my favorite, but season 4 so far is very boring. But it's boring in, and I haven't gone back to it, but it's boring in the way that, like, we've seen this from them before. But when I saw that they were doing an actual Cinderella theme, like, it's actually Cinderella. She's with her stepmother in this house that's hers and her father's, but not hers technically because she's a bastard. But in this house, and then she leaves a glove behind. Keep it. It's so ridiculous to me that I just can't. And I don't get taken out of stories that easily. Like that, I don't get taken out that easily. But them doing a Cinderella thing, I'm like, no, I can't do this. Because I've already struggled through Penelope and Colin. I made it through Kate and Anthony. Okay, I made it through them. No. It's like I just can't. And then Eloise, I'm sick of her. And the thing is, like, I have to kind of check myself a little bit with Eloise because I'm like, what is it about her that makes me not like her? And I kind of think I think the reason I don't like Eloise is sort of the point of her character. I don't think that I abnormally dislike her or like, you know, it's this unbalanced hatred of her. It's just that Eloise gets on my nerves for the reasons that I think she's supposed to get on my nerves, if that makes sense. Because Eloise, and I think the problem, like Mia said, they're dragging it too much. Like, by now, Eloise should not still be, oh, I'm going to be a spinster. Everything is going to be fine. And my brothers and my nephews and like, Eloise is so sheltered and so whatever. And I feel like the only time they did actually try to call her on it, it fell flat. You know, like the boy that she liked that worked at the newspaper place, when he called, or the publication, whatever it was, when he called her on it, it felt like we just kind of like moved on from that. And even Penelope has called her on it, and it's just like, it's like Mia said, it's old at this point. It's season 4. We're going into season 5. It's just, she's on my nerves real bad. And I feel like she kind of has the same problem. I feel like she has the opposite problem, actually, is what I meant to say. The opposite problem of Colin, where like they over characterized her with that one trait and they don't really leave room for growth for her because it's very much rooted in she doesn't want to subscribe to this, and she's a feminist before feminists were a thing, and they've taken that, and I think that they have made the story not enjoyable because the whole conflict is supposed to be that she feels that way in the time that she lives in. But they showed us a really good example of someone who knew how she had to move and operate, and that was Violet. When Violet was like, I know I don't have the same power that these men have, and I can't just stop Daphne from getting married, but I know what I can operate in. I feel like that's what they're missing in Eloise's story, is they're not having her understand those things. And I'm not saying that Eloise has to start using men. I'm not saying that Eloise has to start, flirting. She doesn't have to be flirty, because that's not her personality. That's not who she is. It would be weird if she did that. But what I think they're missing with her character is her understanding the politics. Eloise is very smart. She understands the politics of the time that she lives in. And it does not make sense for her to, at this time where she can't just go get an apartment. She can't just go get a job. She can't just go support herself. And even if she could, she really doesn't want to, because she's rich and she thinks that her family is going to always be there to take care of her, because she's got all these brothers and sisters. And even if they get married off and they have kids, someone is going to always be there to take care of her. I think that they're not letting Eloise be smart enough to be like, you know what, I got to play the game. Because Mia and I were talking about this one day. Lord, God, what was that fine man's name? The one that was after Penelope. The one that they kept saying for some reason was really boring. And he actually kind of wasn't. But anyway, Lord, whatever his name was, Dingus. He would have been perfect for Eloise. That was the perfect scenario. He was going to be gone all the time. Literally, he was going, he said, he was going to be going off to expeditions and all this and that, whatever it was. And like, the lady was going to be there by herself for long stretches, and that she was going to be over the estate. But they misused him by having that be part of Penelope's story. Because they were trying so hard to do the Lady Whistledown situation. It really just does not make sense to me. I almost think that they should have done like, that's the rift between Penelope and Eloise. Was like, yeah, the Lady Whistledown stuff. But then after Penelope ended up turning him down, Eloise decided like, okay, if you ain't gonna take the opportunity, I will. That's what should have happened. And I don't understand what possessed them to move past that. I just don't. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I think that that's what happens when you start sacrificing parts of your story for other parts. Like, Eloise just gets on my nerves. She gets on my nerves. But the reason that I say that she has the opposite problem of Colin, they honed in or zoomed in on that one trait of hers and said, you know what? This is going to be Eloise's only character trait. Is she does not want to play along with the patriarchy. She wants to be independent. She wants to take care of herself. She doesn't want to be, a man's plaything, whatever. They took that and they stretched it into this series long thing that just, they're not portraying it realistically to me. But then Colin, they have no idea how to characterize him. So he just kind of came back one day and suddenly he's this man of the world. When we don't know anything about Colin. We have no information on him. We haven't been around him. When he was there, he was just kind of there. And somehow now Colin has come back this confident man of the world. And we're just supposed to believe that he is so elevated. And now he realizes that he loves Penelope in 3 episodes. Like, girl, what? And that's what I mean when I say he has the opposite problem. He's a blank canvas. Whatever they want him to be in that moment, that's what he is. Like, he's super understanding, but he's also super judgmental. And he's going to judge Penelope even though he just loved her. Like, he doesn't... Anyway. Don't even get me started, because when Colin finger blasted my girl in that carriage, I'm talking about in it. And I was like, what is it with them? I almost feel like another thing they're missing the opportunity to do. One of these Bridgerton girls needs to get it in. You know what I mean? Like one of these Bridgerton girls needs to get it in before they get married. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. I understand what they're going for about reinforcing this idea that the girls want to keep their, their chastity until they get married. But it's like you got Daphne marrying Simon because, they were in the garden. Again, we're in a garden. Francesca, God bless her heart. Francesca and that man, they just existed kind of until they got together. But then you got Colin and Benedict and Anthony being whores. I'm talking about whores, sluts, okay? Tramps. Everything you can think of to describe them. That's what they are. And I get what they're trying to do, that like at this time there were different standards for men and different standards for women. I get what they're doing. I get it. Like, I'm not stupid. But I just think if you're going to show us a realistic show, like Daphne and Simon should have been doing some stuff, And I'm not just talking about like a little bit of something. I'm talking about like Simon should have been in it. But, But I feel like that wouldn't have made sense for Daphne's storyline, actually, because Daphne played very much by the rules, and that was kind of the point of Daphne's character, was that she played by society's rules. So never mind, I take that lie back. That wouldn't have worked for Daphne. I don't think it would have worked for Daphne. It'd be I think Eloise will be the one to do that. And then be like, ugh, I don't really actually like that. Like, I can see her trying it just to try it and be like, ugh, this was not an enjoyable experience. Or she'd be like, oh, I actually do like that. That's interesting. Can you imagine if Eloise got pregnant? It should have worked more for Kate and Anthony. Kate and Anthony frustrated me because Kate and Anthony felt like they were trying to redo Simon and Daphne so hard, and it just kind of didn't work. It just kind of didn't work ultimately, only because their whole thing was them fighting. Like I don't really understand it. And then for them to do that before they got married, don't get me started, please don't, because I didn't enjoy. It's like Kate and Anthony were entertaining to watch, but then there was the fact that her sister was involved that just kind of made me like, what was the point of this? Like. It did not paint Anthony in a good light. It really made Anthony look like he's willing to just play with Edwina's heart just so that he can win against Kate. Like that's how it felt. It felt like he knew he was playing a game and he didn't care. They still frustrate me. What the fuck are they doing? Where are they? Why was there? Yes! These people had this whole... That's another thing that this show does that pisses me off. Is it's very much like, oh, your season is over? You gotta go. And I feel like because the actors that played Daphne and Simon were not, they're regularly after the fact, I feel like they think that it's their like tradition, and it because like we did all of that, got that invested just for Kate and Anthony to not even be on the show, or they're there for like 2 episodes out of 8. And not even a whole episode, just scenes. Girl, goodbye. Save it. And then it's like Penelope and Colin. I mean, the only reason that Penelope is... I'm sorry. I feel like the only reason that Penelope and Colin are still in this show to the extent that they are is because Penelope is Lady Whistledown. That's it. And it doesn't even make sense for Penelope to be Lady Whistledown anymore, because the whole point of it was that it was secret. Nobody knew. Nobody knew who was lurking in corners. Nobody knew who was going to get the tea. Now everybody knows that she's Lady Whistledown. And they come to her asking her to write up stories, and she's at the queen's beck. And I just... And don't even get me started on Charlotte. Because I low-key feel like Charlotte doesn't have anything to do anymore. And instead of just acknowledging that, they've decided that they're just going to keep her in the show. I'm assuming that season 5 is going to be the season where it happens, you know? Because, I mean, it's not like I'm spoiling the show. This is history. But Charlotte dies before George. So I wonder if this is going to be the season where they do it. But I feel like they're trying to keep her on as long as they possibly can. I don't feel like they're going to let her go. I feel like they're going to try to figure out a way to keep her on there. And I'm like, baby, you know, I know that this is not historically accurate. But we got to draw a line. You know what I mean? Like, I draw the line at keeping characters alive that were based on real people. That's where I draw the line. I can suspend belief when it comes to the clothing, when it comes to their housing, when it comes to a lot of things. I can suspend belief. But if they keep that woman alive any longer than next season, y'all just trying to capitalize. Y'all just trying to keep, you know. I feel like they're gonna kill her. I feel like they're gonna kill her in Queen Charlotte too. I think that's when it's going to happen. I think the second season of Queen Charlotte is going to be when it happens. Because that's too big of a thing to just squeeze into, you know, an episode of the main show. They are making a second season of Queen Charlotte, yes. So I think that that's what that's going to be for, personally. Because I can't see them just like in an episode of season 5 being like, oh no, the queen is dead. And we just go like, no. I think it's going to be, you know, Queen Charlotte too. Probably right. Yeah. The only character that fell in love without hating their partner first was Francesca and her man, and they showed all that off screen. Yes, they showed they didn't show a thing about their courtship except a little tidbit here and there, and then suddenly Francesca was in love. And I feel like they tried to take advantage of the fact that Francesca loves silence. Girl, there is no way. There is no way. There is just no way. I just can't believe that. I just can't believe it. I don't believe that. There's no way that they said, oh, she loves quiet, and so that's all it takes. They said that's all it takes. They said, we're not giving Francesca any development until her season. Baby, that's the only time we're going to focus on her. When it gets to her, and then she shouldn't even have been the first, you know, queer Bridgerton. It should have been Benedict. Like, I hate the fact that Benedict didn't explore that more and they just married him off to a woman. I know that I have heard that they handled it appropriately and they handled it well, but it just pisses me off. It just pisses me off. Because if anything, Benedict should have been like the Eternal Bachelor. He should have been the one that didn't want to get married because he liked what he liked. You know? I don't know. I feel like they're trying to... I don't know how it goes in the books, though, because part of me feels like they're trying to subvert expectations. And they want us to like, oh, we all thought that Eloise would be the one that would, you know, be interested in women, but it's actually Francesca. And so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like they're playing games. And I don't like games unless I win. Unless I win. I want to talk more about Steven Universe, too. I do want to make a series. Okay, so let me tell y'all about an idea I had for a series. Because I watched a lot of shows, okay? And I have an idea for a series of, like, the funny spin on it is times that we accepted child labor because it was good drama. And then it'll be stuff like Digimon, Power Rangers, Steven Universe, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Pokemon, stuff like that. It'll be stuff like that. And I'm just going to let people know, like, up front, these are just jokes. Like, this is nothing serious. I am being funny. But just, like, because when you think about it, we really were just out here just thinking like, oh yeah, I want to go to the digital world. Yeah, I want to be a Power Ranger. Yeah, I want to do this. And it's like, that's child labor. You're literally doing things for free. That's crazy. And then at one point, the kids started turning into the Digimon. Like, that's crazy. So I got that idea. But I don't know. What do y'all think? Tell me what y'all think about it. It's only a couple of us here. I don't know. I might not actually end up doing it, but it would be fun. Just a fun little something. I'm trying to think of different series. I'm trying to think of something. I'm bored. I'm boring myself as a content creator, but because I feel like I talk about the same stuff all the time, and so I'm boring myself. And when I go back and I listen to the videos, I'm like, yeah, okay, So like, I want to do something different. I want to do a different format. I want to do a different something. I want to record them differently. Something. I want to give myself a challenge. Is that too close to magic? Not really. I mean, because I'm talking more about the fact that they like have the kids doing stuff versus like what they're actually doing, if that makes sense. Like, of course I'm highlighting what they're doing, but it's not, you know, there's enough of a difference to make me okay with it. And then I do need to get back to my Digimon watch. Cause I want to watch Digimon. I'm tired. Like, I'm burned down on watching stuff. You know, Super Sentai is supposed to be very soap opera in action. Super Sentai, baby, is mess incarnate. Like, if you've ever wanted to just see mess on your screen with people in spandex, then just go watch Super Sentai. I knew it was gonna be a mess when I watched the very first episode of Super Sentai, or the one that was adapted later on into Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. When I watched that and Bandora the witch was about to kill children, I said, oh, this is not Rita Repulsa. This is, and I don't mean kill them as in like hypothetically or anything like that. I mean, she was about to kill them. She had like shrunk them down and put them in some kind of aircraft. I don't remember what it was specifically. Was it like I don't know. It was something like that. I don't know. But she shrunk them down, put them in an aircraft, and then she was gonna smush them. She was gonna kill them. And like, that was the first episode. That wasn't deep in the series. That wasn't after she became unhinged. That wasn't after she lost her goddamn mind. Anything like that. That was the first episode. And that was when I knew, listen, this may be a little too intense for me, baby. I don't know about this. Because the fact that my girl was about to go right on ahead and take them children out, I said, you know, okay, they didn't do anything to anybody. You know, it wasn't like the anointed one on Buffy. He needed to be taken out. It's not like Wyatt on Charmed. He needed to be taken out. It's not like Cody from Digimon. He definitely needed to be taken out. And so it's just like, Bendora, what you doing? What are you doing? But anyway, I digress. I need to stop telling y'all stuff like that. Because I feel like y'all, I don't want y'all to stop believing in me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want y'all to not believe in me. But I also feel like I have to be honest about that kind of stuff. Because I just don't feel, you know what I mean? Like, if there's a disconnect between me and my content, eventually there's going to be a disconnect between everyone else in the content. So, like, it just doesn't feel right to be like, everything's great, everything's fine, everything is, you know, fine and dandy. But I also feel like I need to stop telling y'all so much. Well, y'all are my people, though. Like, I think everyone here is pretty much my actual friend. Versus, like, I know Nyx is here, Mark is here, Mia's here. And, like, y'all are my actual friends. So, you know, I don't mind telling y'all that kind of stuff. When I say y'all, maybe I don't know. Even though you're my friends, you're still consuming the content. So maybe I don't need to be telling y'all that, you know, I'm stuck or But I'm whatever. I don't know. This is hard, and I'm oversharing. And you know, it's okay to be honest every once in a while. That's the problem. I'm too honest too often, so I need to stop. I'm gonna start lying. I'm gonna start scamming. I'm gonna start making y'all think that everything is great, and then I just go cry at night. You know, just go lay down in the bed and just let the tears fall, and put on my actor mask. We stand a liar. We stand a liar. I need to get back into Lost Girl. I need to get back into Once Upon a Time. I need to get back into there's so much I need to get back into. There's so much I need to get back into. Once we finish Charmed, I'm definitely going to get back in. I'm going to record the Secret Circle watch for sure. Definitely going to do that. Listen to Lucky by Britney Spears. You know I love that song. She's so lucky. She's a star, but she cries, cries, cries in her lonely heart, thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? Why did I do that? Because I have to do that every time Lucky by Britney Spears is brought up. I don't know why, but I've done that since I was little. Whenever Lucky by Britney Spears is brought up, I have to do that. I have to. Mia said, well, no, let's not do that. The scamming or the lying? Because, I mean, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You ate that. Thank you. Thank you. T-Boz and Britney Spears sound so similar to me. There's just literally a tiny difference between them. Like, literally. I thought she was talking about the mask part. I don't know. I'm going to be an enigma. I'm not going to tell you which part I think it is. Because what if I want to do it all? What if I want to lie? What if I want to scam? And y'all will be like, oh, Galen's acting so different. And I'm going to be like, am I acting different? Or are you perceiving? See, this is why I can't even speak. Maybe it's a Southern girl thing to sing like that. It might be. Beyonce doesn't sing like that though. You know, she can actually sing. So, no shade. So it's like, I don't know. I was finna say the parts of the South they're from, but then I had to remember Britney Spears is from like Mississippi and or Louisiana. So I'm not gonna, but I'm also not, you know what? I'm also not a woman. So, let me shut the hell up. Cause I'm sounding crazy at this point. Well, sweetnesses, dearests, and my dearest loves. I'm pretty sure I heard Britney got told to sing higher or something originally. Her voice is deeper. I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. How people say singers sing in cursive now. Maybe they're pioneers in that. Oh, like SZA. Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. I said not Tuesday or Thursday. What is going on? Cause SZA, you ain't ever said them words like that. You ain't ever said them words like that. So what would make you do that? You know what? I want to go back to Britney Spears being told to sing higher. Because I feel like that was part of the sexualization of her. And also the way that Hollywood tries. They think that like, I don't even want to say it. But the younger acting, you know what I mean? Like, that's so weird to talk about. I never know how to really say that. But that is so disturbing. That is so disturbing. Ugh. Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday and Friday. Not just keep me satisfied through the weekend. You like 9 to 5, I'm the weekend. No, make him lose his mind every weekend. Y'all, one day I'm gonna get in the studio. Like, one day I'm getting in a studio. Because the way that sometimes I eat these vocals up, and I can tell I'm eating them up. And when I want to get on my feminist high horse, I can connect that to the way fans react to Buffy. Okay, you know I gotta hear about that. You know I'm gonna have to hear about that one day. You know I'm gonna have to hear about that. I'm gonna have to. I realized, by the way, that I didn't text you back. And it didn't occur to me until a little bit before we got on, because I was like, oh, because I was looking for something in my messages, and I was like, I didn't text Mia back. And she might hate me now. And I'm just going to find Prue's Bridge, and I know you hate me. I don't hate. Other people? Justin? I don't want to say names. I'm sorry. Justin? Maybe. That lady? Possibly. But I could never hate my sweet, precious angel babies. Even though I know, that sweet, precious angel baby status is very precarious right now. And because it's you, Nyx, and Adrastea. I think that's it. So, like, right now we're at, I don't know, because I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else, but you like 9 to 5, I'm the weekend, oh, whoa. But yeah, no, I don't hate you. I'm just saying, that sweet, precious angel baby status is hanging on by a thread, child. It's hanging on by a thread, because, you've been coming for me a lot lately, and I don't know. I definitely want to hear more about what you think about Buffy, though, and tying that back, because I'm very interested to know that thought. So maybe you can, if you want to talk about it in the group me, or if you just want to text me about it, I would love to know. I would absolutely love to know. I have to get my thoughts together. Gotcha. Go ya. Well, y'all, listen. I think that I think that this has been a very successful stream tonight. I think that we had a good time. We kikied, we ha-ha'd, we had us a good old-fashioned time. I want to start going live on Tuesdays, or start streaming on Tuesdays once we get finished with Charmed. I really want to start streaming on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. It's one of those 2 days I want to. But, of course we'll get to that when we get to that, but because I don't want to add too much on, but I really want to get back to streaming more. I want to stream a lot more. Anyway, all right, hussies. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna head on out, and I'm gonna see you hussies later. Okay, I hope that y'all have a great evening, and I'll talk to y'all later. This was fun. This was very, very fun. Good night, everybody. Good night, dearests.